Class 9 Chemistry. I am teacher Gitanjali. Today I am going to start with the chapter Study of Gas Laws. Okay. In this chapter you will study about certain laws which gases obey. Before starting anything, let us see states of matter. Gas is state of matter. And what is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Okay. So the three states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. Now we are concerned about the state gas. If we compare this gas with solid and liquid and gas, three states, the particles, the arrangement of particles are most important part over here. The particles or the molecules, if they are very closely packed with each other, then there is a very less space between these particles, which is known as interparticle space. So the attraction force, interparticle force of attraction will be high. So solids have the particles very closely packed with least interparticle space and most interparticle attraction. Okay. Because of that, density of solid will be more because number of molecule per unit area will be more. So this is what solid is. Next we will see liquid. In liquid the particles will be little apart from each other. The space between the particles is more than solid but not too much. Okay. And the interparticle space is also more than solid. Force of attraction will be less than solid. This is what liquid. Now coming to gases, the particles are far away from each other. Okay. That means they have least interparticle force of attraction and most interparticle space. So this is what a slight comparison. So see, most dense, intermediate and least density. So we will discuss about gases in this chapter. So before starting anything, let us see characteristics of gases. All the characteristics of gases, let us revise and learn some more. So first is volume and shape. Okay. Now we know that solids have a fixed volume and fixed shape. Liquids have fixed volume but they take shape of the container. Now what happens when gases if you keep in a container, they will occupy all the space available. If it is a bigger container, then they will occupy all the space available. Okay. So gases do not have fixed volume or shape. They take shape and volume of the container in which they are kept. So this is the first characteristic of gases. Second one, gases exert pressure. If the gas is kept in a container, they bombard on the walls of the container. Okay. So they exert some kind of force on the sides of the container. So the force per unit area, which is known as a pressure. So they exert pressure on the walls of the container. Okay, they bombard. Okay, at a given temperature, they exert the number of particles striking on the walls of the container in unit time, in unit area will be same. What I am saying? At a given temperature, the number of molecules striking on the walls or sides of the container in unit time and per unit area will be same. So we can say that gases exert some kind of pressure in all the directions, some amount of pressure in all the directions. So this is how they exert pressure. Now comes compressibility. What is meaning of compressibility? When you bring the particles closer and they become compact. Okay. So the particles of gas are far away from each other. So when we apply pressure, these particles can be brought closer to each other. As a result, gas will get compressed. Okay. So this is known as compressibility. This is because of large interparticle space. Then after compressibility, comes expandable. Gases are highly expandable. Expandable means the particles which are away from each other can be made much away from each other. So the volume keeps on increasing. How can we expand? There are two ways of expanding volume of gases or expansion of gases. One is by releasing pressure. Releasing or decreasing pressure. Decreasing pressure. Okay, let us suppose this is a container in which the gas is kept and this is a piston. Okay, now this is some amount of pressure is exerted by this. If we release this and bring it from here to here, this extra space will be given. Okay, so these particles can move much more in the given space. So when we release pressure, okay, that means pressure is going less, decreasing. So gases can expand. Second one is by increasing temperature. Increasing temperature. Now you know that the particles of matter has kinetic energy, and with the help of that they keep on moving. Solids particles have least kinetic energy, liquid intermediate, and gases have most kinetic energy. So when we increase temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles also increase. So as a result they move faster. Okay, as a result they go away from each other, so they can expand. So there are two ways of expanding gases. One by decreasing pressure, second by increasing temperature. Then the next characteristic of gas, all these characteristics you have studied in lower classes. This is just a revision. Low density. As already told, density of the gas is very low, because what is density is equal to mass per unit volume. Okay, density. So since the particles are away from each other, so at a given volume the number of particles will be very less. So the density of gas is less or low. Then comes intermixing. If you take two gases and mix them, they mix very well with each other. What is the reason? Because both the gases will have lot of interparticle space. So if another gas is coming, it will also have some interparticle. Let us suppose different way I am drawing these particles. So they settle between the interparticle space of each other and mix very well. So they mix very well. So this is known as high intermixing or good intermixing of gases. So these are certain characteristics which are just a revision of the work which you have done in your lower classes. So let us start with some gas laws. So before starting any gas laws, let us see what is gas law. So we will start with gas laws. See, for three terms you all know, which are volume, temperature, and pressure. These three are called as variables of state. Okay. Now what are gas laws? Gas laws are rules which are obeyed by gases when subjected to change in these variables or one of the variable. Okay. So actually gas laws are analysis of behavior of gases. Okay. Now if any one of this variable is changed, it will affect other two variables also. The other two variables may decrease or increase, but there will be some change in other two variables also. So these are the three variables. And you know what are these three variables? Let us discuss one by one. First come to volume. If we want to define volume, we say space occupied. Okay. But with respect to gas, when we say this is space occupied, and what will be the volume of a gas when you explain, if you take gas in a small container by applying pressure, it will occupy, and if you transfer the same amount of gas in a bigger vessel which has a greater volume, this will take entire available space. So the volume of gas is always volume of the container. volume of the container. Gases occupy all whatever space is available. Okay, so they take the entire space of the container. So volume of the gas will be equal to volume of the container if it is enclosed in a container. Okay, now we will see units of volume. We know milliliter is 1 unit. Okay, so 1 milliliter, or you can say ml also, is equal to 1 cubic centimeter, or centimeter cube also we say, which is written as cc. Okay, so 1 milliliter is equal to 1 cubic centimeter. Now another unit, this is smaller unit. ml is smaller unit of measuring volume. If you want to measure large volume, what is the unit we are using? Liter. So 1 liter. Now liter is also called as decimeter cube, or okay, so liter is equal to decimeter cube or cubic decimeter. So you can write that 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter, or that is also equal to 1000 cubic centimeter, and this can also be written as 1 decimeter cube. So these are the two units you will be using, milliliter and liter. Instead of milliliter, sometimes it will be written as cubic centimeter, which is written like this, or decimeter cube. The second variable is temperature. Variable, temperature. What is temperature? It is average kinetic energy. The temperature of a gas is average kinetic energy of its molecule. Okay, so we know that particles have kinetic energy, which is energy of motion. So if average kinetic energy of gas particle increases, its temperature increases, or vice versa. If it decreases, then kinetic energy decreases, then temperature decreases. So the units which we use here are degree Celsius, okay, and another one unit used is Kelvin, which is K. This is a bigger unit, higher unit. Now when we write the abbreviation, we write capital and name of the scientist. This name of the scientist started with small letter. Here also Celsius starts with small c, but here it will be written as capital C. Now here you see degree Celsius, but Kelvin will not have any degree. This is simply written as K. What is the relation between degree Celsius and Kelvin? Kelvin is equal to, or K is equal to 273 plus temperature in degree Celsius. So whatever temperature is given in degree Celsius, if we have to convert into Kelvin, we have to add 273. Okay, so it is greater. Kelvin is much greater than degree Celsius. So if let us suppose I say degree Celsius temperature is 27 degrees Celsius, so Kelvin will be equal to 273 plus 27, that is equal to 300 Kelvin. This is 300 Kelvin. If the temperature is given in Kelvin as 300 Kelvin and your task is to convert it into degree Celsius, then what will you do? Degree Celsius is Kelvin minus 273. So it will be 300 minus 273, that will be equal to 27 degree Celsius. So this is the relation between Kelvin and degree Celsius. Now the third variable is pressure. Now you all know what is pressure. You have studied. Pressure is force exerted per unit area. Okay. So here pressure, the unit for pressure which we use in this gas law numericals, we will be using millimeters of Hg. So atmospheric pressure. Okay. So what is the atmospheric pressure value? 760 millimeters of mercury, or 76 centimeters of mercury, or 1 atmosphere. This is normal atmospheric pressure. These values will be used wherever required in the numericals. So you all have understood what are the variables. Okay. So let us see what are the gas laws you have this year. First law is Boyle's law. Robert Boyle studied behavior of gas. He kept temperature constant. Out of the three variables, volume, temperature and pressure, he kept temperature constant. And for a fixed mass of a dry gas, he studied the relation between volume and pressure and found that they are inversely proportional. That means if the pressure increases, volume decreases, pressure decreases, volume increases. So let us see what is Boyle's law. Temperature of an enclosed mass of a dry gas remaining constant, its volume is inversely proportional to its pressure. What is Boyle's law? Temperature of an enclosed mass of dry gas remaining constant, its volume is inversely proportional to its pressure. It's very simple. Okay, you have to learn. If let us suppose volume is written as V, temperature as T and pressure P, then what will happen? Volume, temperature remaining constant, temperature remaining constant. Let us derive Boyle's laws expression. This is known as a Boyle's law equation also. Let us see how it comes. Temperature is constant. So volume is inversely proportional to pressure. Okay, simple. So now we can write it as volume is equal to K 1 upon P, P remaining constant. And what is K over here? K is proportionality constant. To remove that proportionality sign, this one equal to, we have kept this is called as proportionality sign constant. So this can be written as PV is equal to K. Okay. Let us take an example for an enclosed mass of a dry gas. If the pressure changes to P1 first and then P2. Okay. First it is P1 pressure, initial pressure you can call it as, and finally it goes to P2, which is final pressure. And for that corresponding volume is V1 and V2 provided temperature remaining constant. So the condition is temperature remaining constant. So let us write over here, if P1 and goes to P2. So this is the pressure changes for constant temperature, pressure changes to P1 and then to P2 for that corresponding volume V1 and V2. Then we can write, according to Boyle's law, it will be P1 V1 equal to K. We can write it as equation 1. Okay, how we wrote PV is equal to K. So P1 V1 will be equal to K. Similarly, P2 V2 is equal to K. Temperature constant. What is condition? Temperature remaining constant. Look at this equation, equation 1 and equation 2. The right hand side quantity is same, K, K. So we can write therefore P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Since these two are same, so the left hand side value should also be same. So this is what Boyle's law equation. Boyle's law equation. This equation where T is constant. This equation P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is Boyle's law equation, which is used in the numericals based on Boyle's law. It's very simple. So you have to remember that temperature remaining constant, volume of enclosed mass of a dry gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. So PV is inversely proportional to PV is equal to K, P where K is proportionality constant. So PV, this is cross multiplied. PV is equal to K. K multiplied by 1, so 1 comes K. Okay. Now, if we think that initially the pressure is P1 and which goes to P2. So when pressure is P1, volume is V1. When pressure is P2, volume is V2. Temperature is constant. So what is the relation between initial pressure and volume? P1 V1 is equal to K. P2 V2 is equal to K. Both the right hand side values are same, so this will also be same. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, which is called as Boyle's law equation. Okay, so let us solve some numericals. Okay, so P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. So we can say the Boyle's law, we said the temperature of an enclosed mass of a dry gas remaining constant, its volume is inversely proportional to its pressure. Now looking at this expression or these expression, we can say that temperature of enclosed mass of dry gas remaining constant, the product of pressure and volume remains constant. Okay, so if in a question comes what is Boyle's law, you should write the first one. This is for understanding. Now verification of Boyle's law. Any law is given, then verification, proving that expression is very important. From Boyle's law we have found that PV is equal to K, that or P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay, so the product of pressure and volume remains constant if temperature is constant for an enclosed mass of dry gas. So let us start. Temperature remaining constant if value of pressure, volume and its product. Pressure is taken in centimeter of mercury, volume in liter, and this is PV. Let us suppose initially pressure is 10, then volume is 2. Okay, we start with this. The pressure is become 10 to 20, that means it has doubled. Since volume is inversely proportional to temperature, it will become it will increase, then it will decrease. Since it has become double, it will become half. So 2 to 1. It has gone from 10 to 20, it has gone 2 to 1. Next, the pressure is becoming 3 times. Okay, multiplied by 3. So it is become 1/3 of that. It is 0.67, almost 0.67 it comes. If it becomes 4 times, it will become 1/4 and it will be 0.5. So for all these values, if you find product of P and V, it will come same. 10 into 2 will come 20. 20 into 1, 20. 30 into 0.67, approximately 20. Not exactly, but approximately 20. 40 into 0.5, 20. Okay, so this is how this product remains constant. So we can plot a graph. See, now this is pressure in this way, and this axis we are plotting volume. For pressure 10, volume is 2. So here, okay, so pressure 20, volume becomes 10. Pressure 30, it becomes 0.67, so somewhere here, and for 40 it is 5 here. So if you join all these points, you will get a slope here. This graph tells that it is inversely proportional. This is how Boyle's law can be verified. Let us solve some numericals. Your textbook, you open page number 139, you will have practice problems. So first, practice problem 1, first numerical. We will read the numerical, then solve. An enclosed gas at constant temperature occupies 75 liters at a pressure of 700 millimeters of mercury. Find the pressure of the gas if its volume increases to 100 liters at the same temperature. Okay, so the first task is to write the given terms. Which formula you are going to use in Boyle's law? P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is Boyle's law equation. Okay, so this is the equation which you all are going to use, where P1 and V1 are initial pressure and volume, P2 and V2 are final. So let us write first given P1 is equal to V1 is equal to P2. You can write one below another also. P2 is equal to V2 is equal to. What is P1? An enclosed gas at a constant temperature occupies 75 liters at pressure 700 millimeter. So the initial pressure is 700 millimeter of mercury. Okay, of Hg is very, very important. What is initial volume? 75 liter. Now, what is P2 equal to? Find the pressure of the gas. So P2 is a question. If its volume increases to 100, that means from 75, if the volume becomes 100 liters. This is very important. You get 1 mark for writing this. So initial pressure, initial volume, then final pressure, final volume. Out of this 4, 3 will be known and 1 will be unknown. Then write the equation which you are going to use. P formula P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Then substitute the values. What is P1? 700. What is V1? 75. P2 is a question, so write it as a P2 only. V2 is 100. Okay. Now bring that P2 this side. So P2 is the question, so we have to calculate. So P2 is equal to 700 multiplied by 75 upon 100. Okay. Now cancel. So 75 multiplied by 7. So P2 is equal to 7 5s are 35. Carry over 3. 7 7s are 49 and 3 52. P2 is 525 mm of Hg. Then you write below answer. The final pressure is so and so. So you get marks for each and every step, and systematically you can write the answer. So this is first sum. Now practice problem 2. It's on page number 140. The first sum. Calculate the initial pressure of 4.5 liters of dry nitrogen gas. So 4.5 is initial volume. You have to find initial pressure. If it occupies 3.3 liters at 1.2 pressure, assume temperature remains constant. So looking at the sum, you can find out what is the law applicable over here. Now, initial pressure you have to find, calculate. So P1 is a question mark. V1. What is V1? 4.5 liters of dry nitrogen gas. If it occupies 3.3 at 1.2 atmospheric pressure, so P2 is 1.2 atmosphere, then V2 becomes 3.3 liters. Now see here, for the pressure, whatever unit given for the known, for the unknown also you have to report in the same unit. Same way, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Substitute the values. P1 is unknown, V1 is 4.5, P2 is 1.2 and V2 is 3.3. So P1 will be equal to 1.2 into 3.3 upon 4.5. Now you have to solve this. You can solve directly or remove the decimal. So this decimal will go, and for this you can write 10. Okay. So 3 4s are 12 and 3 15s are 45. 15 3s are 45, isn't it? Now this you have to multiply. So 4 3s are 12. 4 3s are 12 and 1 13 upon 150, and the answer comes 0.88 atmosphere if you solve. Now practice problem 3, first sum. At a constant temperature, a gas at a pressure of 1200 millimeter of mercury occupies volume of 1500 cubic centimeter. If volume is decreased by 40%, find the new pressure. So let us start writing P1, V1, P2 and V2. What is P1? Gas at a pressure 1200 mm of mercury. So this will be initial pressure. Okay. Now V1 occupies volume of 1500 cubic centimeter. Its volume decreased by 40%. Find new pressure. So P2 is a question mark. Volume, what is the final volume that we have to calculate? It is, the hint is given, it is decreased by 40%. So 40% of 1500 you have to reduce from this. So it will be written as decreased by 40%, so minus 40% of 1500. See, 40% of initial volume, so this will be 40 upon 100 multiplied by 8. Now cancel this. So 15 fours are, so this will be 1500 minus 600, that is equal to 900 cubic centimeter. So final volume is 900 cubic centimeter. Now substitute these values in the equation and get the answer. So let us start here. First write the equation P1V formula. P1V1 is equal to P2V2. P1, what is P1? 1200 into 1500 is equal to P2 into 900. That will be P2 equal to 1200 into 1500 divided by 900. 3 3s are 9, 3 5s are 15, 3 1s are 3 4s are 0 0. So P2 is equal to 400 multiplied by 5, that is equal to 200 mm of Hg. So P2 is equal to this. Then you can write answer. The final pressure is 2000 millimeters of mercury. Now practice problem 4. First one. The volume of a certain gas found 11.2 decimeter cube when pressure was 1.5 atmosphere. If the pressure increases by 40%, find new volume of gas. This is more or less similar to the previous sum. Okay. Now let us start writing the given values. Volume of a certain gas found 11.2, pressure was 1.5. So P1, V1, P2, V2. Every time you have to write all these along with their units. So P1 is 1.5 atmosphere. V1 is 11.2 decimeter cube. Now if the pressure increases by 40%, find its new volume. So we need some place over here to calculate new pressure. So new volume is a question mark. So pressure increases. What is the initial pressure? 1.5. It increases by how much? 40%. So 40% of 1.5. So if now you calculate it. 2 2s are, 2 5s are, 5 1s are, and 0.3. So this will be equal to 1.5 plus 0.6, and that is equal to 2.1 atmosphere. Now V2 is a question mark. Okay. So we have got 3 values, we have to find the fourth one. So P1 Again V1 is equal to P2, V2, P1 is 1.5 into 11.2 is equal to 2.1 into V2. That is V2 is equal to 1.5 into 11.2 divided by 2.1. Okay. So if you remove this decimal, 3 5s are and 3 7s are. Now 7 1s are and here 7 1s are and 6 are. 2 is 5 into 1.6, that is equal to 16 5s are 80 decimal. So V2 is equal to 8 decimeter cube. Since it is decimeter cube, this is also decimeter cube. So this is the final answer.